Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. One man has been injured following a shooting in Freeland on Tuesday. According to officials, the shooting took place at the Freeland Village Apartments on Evancho Circle around 12:30 p.m. When officers arrived on the scene, they say one man was found shot and was taken to the hospital for treatment. Police say the victim was targeted by the shooter and that there is no danger to the public at this time. The investigation into the incident is still ongoing. Stay tuned on WYLN for updates. A former Lyft driver from Hazleton appeared in court this week on sexual assault charges. Edwin Valentin Perez is facing charges after the alleged victim says Valentin Perez sexually assaulted him during a ride from Nanticoke to Plymouth in August. According to officials, the incident occurred while Valentin Perez was working as a rideshare service driver for Lyft. During the incident, the victim says Valentin Perez used an inhalant-type substance to cause the victim to become semi-conscious. The victim says Valentin Perez then sexually assaulted him. Valentin Perez has been charged with sexual assault, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, and false imprisonment in connection with the incident. Officials say Valentin Perez has waived his right to a preliminary hearing and will appear in court again on January 27th. According to court records, Valentin Perez remains free after he posted his $100,000 bail in September. A severe winter storm watch has been issued for Carbon, Luzerne, and Schuylkill counties. According to the National Weather Service, the winter storm watch will be in effect from Thursday afternoon through Friday afternoon. During the watch, experts say snow accumulations of up to 12 inches are possible in areas of high elevation. However, snowfall amounts in the valleys are expected to be significantly lower. Residents are warned that strong winds and heavy snowfall may down power lines or cause sporadic power outages. Driving conditions may also be hazardous during the Thursday evening and Friday morning commute. Coming up on WYLN News, a heavy police presence is reported in Wilkes-Barre. Plus, we get an inside look at the American Cancer Society Telethon's fashion show scheduled for Saturday. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute and the region's only nationally ranked hospital for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. Our team is ranked among the top 20 in the nation and is your unrivaled partner for orthopedic care. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho. We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
It's Winterfest at the Bloomsburg Fair. Enjoy holiday fun for the 2 days after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 29th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Shop over 250 craft vendors, including local wineries and distilleries inside 5 fair buildings. Fill your belly with some delicious goodies from a variety of food vendors as you listen to live music. Take a horse-drawn ride around the fairgrounds and get photos with Santa. There's free admission and free parking. Details on the Bloomsburg Fair Facebook page.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
The American Cancer Society Greater Hazleton Unit's 46th Annual Telethon, working together in 2024, sweeping cancer out the door, will be held Saturday, November 23rd from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts and broadcast live on Wyln TV 35. Make sure you tune in for all the entertainment and make a pledge. That's the 46th Annual Telethon, live on Wyln TV 35, November 23rd.
Hey everybody, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, I'm Dr. John Dagener. I'm going to host a show with no other patients today. I love when my patients tell their stories, but today I want to just spend some special time with you about some perspectives of life.
Welcome back to Wyln News. A heavy police presence was reported in Wilkes-Barre on Tuesday in the area of Terrace Street. According to officials, police had been serving court documents to a home on the street when the situation escalated. Pennsylvania State Police, Wilkes-Barre City Police, and Luzerne County Sheriff's deputies all responded to the scene, and a portion of the street was blocked off. Additional details regarding the incident have not yet been released. Stay tuned on Wyln News for updates. The American Cancer Society Telethon is returning to Hazleton on Saturday, November 23rd. The live event will run from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts located at 212 West Broad Street in Hazleton. One highlight of the telethon for the last 7 years has been the Fashion for a Cure segment. We spoke with the coordinator, Sherry O'Donnell, to find out more about the annual fashion show.
We do a segment called Fashion for a Cure, and it's really grown over the years. It's where men, women, boys, girls can wear a fashion of their choice, something that makes them feel comfortable, represents who they are, and they model this on the telethon in the 2 p.m. hour, and they do this in honor of or in memory of someone who has fought a battle with cancer. So you get to learn a little bit about each participant, and then they take their stroll around the stage, and people can call in and give a donation if they know that participant or if they just enjoy the segment on the telethon.
O'Donnell also told us about how the segment came about.
So about 8 years ago, we decided we wanted to add something fresh and new to the telethon, and we thought, why not get families involved and let the next generation of volunteers come and start. So basically, we went and asked families would they like to participate in this Fashion for a Cure and walk in honor of or in memory of something. Since then, it's become a very endearing part of our telethon, and we hope it will stick around for a long time and future generations can participate.
The fashion show will take place during the 2 p.m. hour at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts. All proceeds from the telethon will benefit the American Cancer Society. To make a pledge, you can call 570-459-1212. The telethon will be broadcast live on Wyln and streamed onto the Wyln TV 35 YouTube channel. A variety of local holiday programming is coming to Wyln this Thanksgiving season. Need some cooking tips before the big day? Check out Chef Lou's Thanksgiving episode on Sunday, November 24th at 1 p.m., Tuesday, November 26th at 7 p.m., or Wednesday, November 27th at 4 p.m. The Hazleton Liberty Band Fall Concert will also be broadcast on Wyln at the dates and times shown on the screen, including this Friday, November 22nd at 1 p.m. Then on Thanksgiving Day, Wyln will be reliving the action by broadcasting 3 Hazleton area football games from the 2024 season. You can catch Hazleton area versus Berwick beginning at 12 p.m., Hazleton area versus Wilkes-Barre beginning at 3 p.m., and Hazleton area versus Pittston beginning at 5:30 p.m. Be sure to catch it all on Wyln TV 35. Coming up on St. Clair's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Ashland Part 3. Plus, we sit down with Dr. Scott Moonier on this week's Wellness Wednesday. And stay right here on Wyln. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Nescopec,
Or downtown Hazleton.
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Contact Pete Casalica for a home and auto quote today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
FNL Doors, your trusted overhead door supplier for over 50 years, providing quality products and services to Eastern PA and beyond with 2 strategic locations. They carry garage doors from leading manufacturers in the industry like Rayner. They guarantee parts and service for your home or business, from new construction to replacement doors, inspections, and service calls. FNL Doors stands behind every job, taking pride in the work they do. Call 800-344-DOOR or visit FNL Doors online at fldoors.com or visit their showrooms in Hazel Township or Schuylkill Haven.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
In the last decade of the 19th century, America was hit by the Panic of 1893, triggered in part when silver and railroad bubbles that had been building across the nation burst. Its effects would last through 1897, and in Pennsylvania, unemployment would ultimately reach 25% during the worst stretches. In the Ashland area, this would be acutely felt when the Philadelphia and Reading Railroad filed for bankruptcy and numerous mines closed. Left with no other choices, Ashlanders spread across the nation and state to look for better opportunities. By 1900, the town had lost roughly 2,500 residents. Many of them, however, remembered their days in the coal region well and pined to return someday. And a seed was planted in 1900 when several former residents of the town met at a state convention in Shamokin. Remembering the good times they'd had in Ashland in their younger years, they thought it would be a good idea to give former Ashland residents a reason to come back home. They subsequently formed the Ashland Boys Association, open to any former resident of the town regardless of ethnicity or social standing. Beginning the next few years, and continuing for decades to come, members of the ABA would return home to Ashland the Saturday before Labor Day for a grand celebration. In 1910, another facet of this homecoming was added, courtesy of the ABA's Philadelphia branch. When they arrived in town that year, they were greeted by an impromptu parade, including such participants as the local American Hose Company, Centralia Band, Knights of the Golden Eagle, and Washington Light Infantry. From this grand greeting grew the tradition of a mummers parade through town on the Saturday before Labor Day, which continued for many years even after the Ashland Boys Association's 1976 disbandment. Later, during the Great Depression, the ABA gave back to Ashland with a grand monument. The group's motto was, "Come on home," and for many members, home reminded them strongly of their mothers. Thus, at the group's 1933 reunion, it was proposed to build a memorial to honor all the town's mothers. Despite some members arguing for the ABA to give money for a library, instead the monument won out. $6,000 was raised by the organization for the monument, which ultimately be designed by Emil Seaburn and sculptor Julius Loester. For their inspiration, the artists used James McNeill Whistler's painting and arrangement in gray and black No. 1, popularly known as Whistler's Mother. Works Progress Administration funding gave the stonework for the statue, which was dedicated on September 4, 1938 during the annual Labor Day festivities. Today, the Mother's Memorial still stands downtown, continuing its mission to honor mothers both in Ashland and around the world for all they do for their children. In the meantime, trolley lines reached into Ashland at the turn of the 20th century, as they did across much of the nation. The Schuylkill Traction Company in 1889 built a trolley line that stretched from Ashland to Monomoy City, with stops along the way in Girardville and Gilberton. Many trolley lines at the time would build an amusement park or picnic grove at the end of the line to entice riders to take a full trip. In Ashland, this led to the opening of Woodland Park in 1892. The park featured an open-air theater, dance hall, and skating rink, and proved quite popular for a time as a weekend getaway for area residents. Silent movies would be shown frequently at the park's theater, and vaudeville shows and local bands would also perform there. The end of trolley service in 1929, with buses replacing the Schuylkill Traction Company's trolleys, would also spell the end of Woodland Park. It was at this time, however, that another amusement complex rose to take its place. Harvey and Alice Beery had purchased land from Harvey's parents for farming around the beginning of the century. Buckhorn Creek flowed through the property, and it occurred to the Beerys that it could be dammed to make an impressive lake. In 1920, the family did so, and 3 years later, with the lake fully formed, the summer resort known as Beery's Grove opened to the public. For a dime's admission, guests could swim in the Beery's Lake, as well as go boating, or fishing, or ice skating in the winter. Cabins sprang up along the lake as well. A dance hall and band shell would also appear at the lake, as did amusements such as a carousel, a shooting gallery, and a train ride. A horse riding academy would also grace the property, and ice harvesting would take place in the lake over the winters. The Beerys sold the property in 1957, and the owners changed the name to Mountain Valley Lake. Increased competition from nearby Knoebels Amusement Resort would lead to the lake's closure in 1974. After a decade trying to sell it, it was repurchased and repackaged as a private housing development, today known as the Moon Lake Association. Breweries had taken root throughout the anthracite region in the late 1800s. Although Ashland would be comparatively late getting into the local beer game, it would be the home of the Schuylkill Home Brewing Company beginning in 1911. The brewery's name would be changed in 1915 to its more familiar title of the Ashland Brewing Company. Prohibition shut the brewery down in 1920. It would reopen in 1934, selling brands such as ABC Porter and Schuylkill Heim Beer before closing for good in 1940.
It's Winterfest at the Bloomsburg Fair. Enjoy holiday fun for the 2 days after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 29th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday, November 30th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Shop over 250 craft vendors, including local wineries and distilleries inside 5 fair buildings. Fill your belly with some delicious goodies from a variety of food vendors as you listen to live music. Take a horse-drawn ride around the fairgrounds and get photos with Santa. There's free admission and free parking. Details on the Bloomsburg Fair Facebook page.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialist, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday, and I am here at the Health and Wellness Center, and we're in Suite 208. And what's in 208? One of my dearest and favorite doctors here is Dr. Scott Muir. Welcome, doctor.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
So when I emphasize that we're here at the Health and Wellness Center, it's because you and your team recently moved over here to the Health and Wellness Center, correct?
Yeah, we needed some space. We only had about a half dozen rooms over there. The practice is really growing, so we welcome the additional rooms that we have here.
Yes. And one of the other reasons I wanted to invite you on Wellness Wednesday is not only to give our viewers some good health information, but for me, on behalf of so many women and their families, I mean, their husbands as well, because you have been so implemental in this whole entire community for 30 years as an obstetrician gynecologist. And I can't tell you, you're my doctor for 20 years. I adore you. You're very professional. You're good at what you do. So tell me, you've been here for 30 years.
It's been a privilege to be here. It was the first decision I made out of residency. And since 1994, we made a go of it all these years, hoping to deliver some health care the area needed in a way that they deserve to have it.
So, you haven't been recently delivering babies. You have, so for 29 years, you've been delivering babies. How many babies do you think you deliver?
About at least 3,000, 3,500, maybe a little more, depending. It doesn't seem that many, but boy, I'll look back on it now and I see them growing up, coming through the office, a couple generational issues. It's neat to see.
It is, and you've already delivered their babies. Yes, as well.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That gives you a real gut check on how long I've been here anyhow. Absolutely. And seeing them through many of these pregnancies. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize, and if there's any men watching, they may not realize how really, truly important it is for a woman to have a gynecologist and to take care of her health. You've been here so long, you know so much. Give us some really good tips on staying as healthy as possible as a woman.
Sure. I mean, first of all, you have to have that good relationship with your provider. You got to make the appointment. That's the hardest thing to do, is pick up the phone and make the call. Most women know they need to be seen on a regular basis, even from a young age, where their mothers will tell them how important it is. They don't need to be seen for past bears until 21. That's the first. That used to be 18, but now it's 21 that they need to be seen. But they do need to be seen regularly. A lot can happen before 21, of course, we know, as they're in high school and college and that sort of thing. So they got to get into be evaluated with regards to what's important health-wise. Whether it be their personal health, whether it be contraception, whether it be regular maintenance type health in terms of when to get a pap smear or when to be screened for regular medical issues at a young age.
So, one thing I always appreciated as your patient is your honesty, the way you explain things. When I would say, do I really know? Or if I worried about something, you know the answers. You know the answers. For being around so long and being as good as you are, you know what we need to hear, and you know when to get us past that indecisive.
Well, an educated patient becomes a better patient, not only to themselves, but it helps me also. When they understand their illness or their wellness, they're going to be more compliant with what's done in the office. They'll be better with follow-up. you'd be surprised what an education patient will be like in terms of surprising me they really listen to what I was telling them, and they're better for it. We go over anatomy, physiology in ways they can understand. I think the information sources today can be unreliable, and when they're here, they really need to get their information from in my situation, a gynecologist or obstetrician, and from their primary care physicians.
So the one thing we didn't mention yet was that you will be retiring.
Yeah.
When is your last day?
It's probably going to be January 2nd or 3rd. It depends. It's the end of that cycle. Been it's a little scary, but I think it's time. I want to make sure that there's the life 2.0 that I can still enjoy with friends and family.
And I just want to thank you once again on behalf of all of us here in this community. Thank you for being a stellar physician, for caring for us, for healing us, because you've healed a lot of people. There have been a lot of people with a lot of issues that you discovered and you were able to help them with. Some, unfortunately, maybe not, but you did everything you can. Just want to thank you for everything.
It's great. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely.
It's been a good run. Look, I tell my patients, I'm not sure what this is going to have in the retirement years, but you know what? I think I want to do this now. When I look back, there's no great time to wrap it up and put a bow on it. This is it.
Absolutely.
So hopefully it'll.
And I told him he'll be calling me like in 6 months going, yeah, I did the right thing. But we do. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.